everyone, this is Helloangel.design. Today I'm going to show you how I make this beautiful cosmetic bag. So like right here, if you have a cosmetic bag, you have a label, you can put your label there. And when you open inside, there are pockets inside on both sides. So this is how it is when you turn it inside out. There are pockets where you can put your brushes, your lipstick, your pancake, everything is inside. And when you turn it, this is how the bag look. So stay with me and enjoy this tutorial. So like right here, I have cut all my pattern ready. Go ahead and do the same. I have 2 pieces for the zip side. I have strap and zip and also the lining. These are the main fabric and batting. If you don't have batting, you can use interfacing for the cosmetic bag. So what you have to do, this is denim fabric and this the flower fabric. So this flower fabric will be on top of the cosmetic bag. It will be on top of it like this, while the denim will be at the bottom of the bag. So what you have to do, you put them together like this. You just spin along. So what you have to do, take it to your sewing machine, give the top stitch here, and you also do the same thing on this other side. Once you have done stitching, this is how it will look. So you can see that inside you open the seam apart, you take it to your ironing board, you press it very nicely. Once you're done doing that, you take your batting or interfacing, you put it on top like this, and you take it to your ironing board and you press it. Once you're done iron, like if you're using batting, once you're done pressing it on the batting, you take your pin, you pin them in place. But if you're using interfacing, you just go ahead and stitch it all around. You don't need to pin it in place. So like right here, once I'm done pinning, I will stitch it from the beginning all the way around to hold the batting on the fabric. So like this kind of cosmetic bag that I'm making, I'm not going to make a box plate on this one. So because this box plate, it takes time and it takes a lot of thread, it consumes a lot of thread. So I think I will just go ahead, stitch it all around to hold the batting on the I have stitched it all around. This is how it looks. You can see that my batting is longer. In case you're making bag or cosmetic bag, any bag of your choice, make sure the batting is longer than the fabric. Is more better to if the batting is smaller, it's not so good. So that is why when you're making a bag, the batting is always longer than the fabric. Then you can cut the excess out. So right now we just cut the excess out. Once you have done cutting out the excess batting, the next thing to do is this will be the pockets, and this is the fabric inside. So you cut a pieces of batting the same size, the same width, and the same length. You put it on top like this. You take it to your ironing board, you press the button on it like that, and you take it to your sewing machine, you stitch it all the way to the end. Just give it a top stitch around. Once you're done stitching, then you turn it inside out and you take it to your ironing board and give it a good press. So once you have done stitching the fabric, you turn it inside out, you give it a good press. This is how it will look. And you put your lining like this and you place it on top of your lining. So from there to here is 3.5 inch. You can measure 3 inches. It's very good, depends on you, but I measure 3.5 inch. Once you're done doing that, you take it to your sewing machine. You just stitch it all along and stitch the both sides to hold the pocket in place. Stitch the both sides from here to here, from here to here. And also, if you're going to make the pocket maybe 2 sides, 1, 2, you just measure it from the end to this point. From the end to this, you measure it and you divide the pocket into 2. If you want to do the same thing to 3, you can also do the same thing. As you can see right here, I measure it into 4 places. From here to here is 7 inches, 6.5 inches, something like that. So I will take it to my sewing machine, stitch it all the way to the end, stitch the both sides, and stitch it all the way to the end, one after another. So go ahead and place the pocket in the fabric, stitch them together, and I will show you how to put the rest together. Once you have done stitching, this is how it looks. Like I said before, I measure into 4 places, the 4 pocket. You can put your lipstick, your brush, your eyeliner, anyone is very good. You can even make it as a purse for yourself. So like right now, what you have to do after you have done stitching this in place, so you have to attach the zip on the bag. So what you have to do, like this is my zip. My zip is very long, so I cut it, I cut it out so that I want this end of the zip to show. It looks very nice. So what you have to do, you fold a piece of fabric. This is how it is. You fold the raw edges inside. So you put it inside like this. And you take your pin, you pin them in place. And you will do the same thing on the other side. You also pin it in place. Once you're done pinning, take it to your sewing machine. Top stitch here, top stitch there, top stitch here, top stitch. And then once you're done doing that, you place your zip like this. So if you want the end to show all the way to the end, what you have to do, you measure inside 1 centimeter. You can see right here, I measure inside 1 centimeter. You will do the same thing on this other side. So your zip will end in that 1 centimeter, as you can see right there. Once you put it like this, you take it to your sewing machine, you give the top stitch to the end, and then you take your lining. As you can see, this is the lining, this is the top. Don't make the mistake. You have to know the top. Put the top like this. And take it to your sewing machine and also do the same thing on the other side. I have stitched them in place. This is how it looks. It looks very nice. You can see how it is. This will be my stitch line. And this is inside. This will be the lining. And these are the little pocket inside that you can put your brushes. So the next thing what you have to do, you take the second part and you put it on top like this, and you take your pin. Make sure you pin them in place. Before you pin it on top, this is my 1 centimeter that I measure. So make sure you do the same thing on this other one when you're placing it on top. So pin it like that. Once you've done pinning, take it to your sewing machine, stitch it all around, and then put your lining on top of it like this. And also give the top stitch all around. Once you've done stitching, then you open your cosmetic bag like this, take it to your ironing board, press it very nicely. Once you press it very nicely, take it to your sewing machine, give the top stitch on both sides. I have stitched them in place. This is how it is. Make sure you give the top stitch on the zip side. The next thing to do is to take your strap, you take it to your sewing machine, you stitch it all around to the end, and you also stitch this other side, then you fold it, and this is the end of the zip side. So from there you measure 1 centimeter. From there you measure 1 centimeter. It's right here. So you can put, once you're done stitching the strap, then you put it like this. You take your pin, you pin them in place. Make sure you are not stitching the lining. You pull out your lining like this. You pin them in place like that. Then you take it to your sewing machine, you just give the top stitch right there. If you have a label or you don't have a label, you're just making it for yourself, there is no need for that. But if you have a label, you decide where to put your label. First of all, measure 1 centimeter from here. From there, measure 1 centimeter. And then put my label right there, and then give it a top stitch here, give it a top stitch there. Go ahead, stitch the strap on the purse. If you're making it for yourself, there is no need for you to put your label, or if you're making it to sell, you put your label right there. If you have a different kind of label that has a leather, you can just put it at the center of the bag, that it will look like a design. So this is a fabric, so I'll put it right there. After I measure 1 centimeter, I'll put it right there, give the top stitch here, and also on the other side. I have stitched the strap and the label on the bag. This is how it will look. You can see that I measure inside 1 centimeter. The next thing what you have to do is to measure the bust corner. What you have to do, you turn your fabric, open it like this. You can see that I have measured the bust corner, and I've also marked where I'm going to cut. If you want to do that, put your measuring tape right there. You can see it's 1.5 inch. And this other side is also 1.5 inch. Same thing on this side, also 1.5 inch. So everything is 1.5 inch, included the lining is 1.5 inch. You just measure it all around like that. Once you finish measuring, you take your scissors, you cut it out. Once you have done cutting out the corners of the bag, the box corners of the bag, You also do the same thing on the lining. You see the way it is. So the next thing is to put the bag together. Before you do that, open your zip all the way to this side, so that when you finish stitching, when you're turning the bag inside out, it's easy for you to turn inside out. So like right now, you put them together like this, and this is the up side. Make sure they matched, and you pin it in place. So this side where the zip is going to go inside the lining side. You just do it like this. You see the way it is, and you why this side is going to be like this, to be like this, and you pin it. So what you have to do, you pin it from here to the side. You just pin like this, and you leave a gap. The gap will be 3 inches, depends on you. You can make it 2 inches. So you leave this gap, you stitch from here, back stitch at the beginning, back stitch at the end, the same thing here, and then you will come to this side, you will stitch it all the way to the end. Do not stitch this place yet, leave it open, and then you will stitch this other side, and you will continue from here, stitch all the way to the end. Also, when you're stitching the lining, don't stitch this place yet, leave it open. So once you're done stitching, I will show you how to close the box. So go ahead and stitch the back together. Stitch it all around. This is how it is. So I take it to my ironing board, I press it to open the seam apart, and this is the place I left open. I haven't stitched here yet. So the next thing is to close these corners of the bag. So if you're going to do that, you take your bag, you open it like this, put them together like this, put the seam together, make sure they are matched like that. You take your pin, you pin them in place. So once you're done pinning, this is how it will look. So the next thing what you have to do, take it to your sewing machine, stitch it all around. You stitch this side, and you also do the same thing on the line. Put them together, this is how it is. And also the lining. So the next thing is to turn the bag inside out. So you put your hand inside like this. And then you just keep rolling it out. So this is how the bag will look. You see how it is? And this is my label, very close to the end, which is super nice, the way I wanted it to be. The next thing is to close the open seam. So you put it together like this. Put it together like this. Take it to your sewing machine. Fold it inside. You see, I already folded it inside. Take it to your sewing machine. Give it the top stitch to the end, back stitch at the beginning, back stitch at the end. Once you're done doing that, the bag is ready. And this is inside. This will be where you can put the brushes, the lipstick and everything. You see how it is. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful cosmetic bag. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thumbs up. Share if you can. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day. Bye.